Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Vlogs. This is day number 34 and we just rounded up another day of the WePlay Pushka League Division 1 Season 1 playoffs. It's quite the mouthful. Giggity ooh, that's what she said. Some other childish joke. Let's move on. Because we actually had some kick-ass dough all around today. Really good showings actually from all the teams involved. But this... I mean, I'm just looking at the brackets right now. This is starting to look awkward. Almost every single series we've had has been a 2-0. We finally managed to break the streak at the start of the day today when Team Liquid were taken to a third game by the side of Alliance. The Alliance, the game that they won, damn did they look powerful. Damn did they play their draft very well. But the other two games, Team Liquid, honestly, just playing their draft really well. And it just felt like Alliance were kind of figured out and up against the wall. Like, honestly, when you look at the picks the Team Liquid had, every single game, Shadow Demon, Centaur to open it up, confident as hell, never in doubt, Oracle twice as well. Like, these are just Team Liquid playing comfortable heroes that they know they can function really well on. And of course, we did see that backfire a little bit against Team Secret, but ultimately, against the side of Alliance, it was their undoing as they got defeated 2-1 and booted out of the tournament. I really hope that those guys do actually try and hang on to FNG, though. I think the progress they've made in such a small amount of time is pretty impressive, and I'd love to see what could happen if they keep the dude in for a longer period of time. But then we had our second series. Team Liquid barely has a break, then they have to come back and play again. And they didn't want to wait around with this one. They're up against Virtus Pro, but they take Game 1 and Game 2 to make sure it's another 2 over here. There are some comfortable, familiar picks that get their hands on the Mars. The Phoenix, especially both games, actually. I love the way that like Team Liquid is so good at utilizing the Phoenix whenever you give it to them. They just understand the way that they can ball up. And, you know, Liquid, they're this team that in team fights, they are going to play optimally. They're very good at actually like min-maxing what they need to do in each individual hero, and Phoenix is just a fantastic hero with that. Like the resources you have available, your ultimate being the biggest debate, pay attention to me in the game, it feels like. It just drags your opponent's attention to ways that they don't want to have to deal with it. And honestly, like when we saw Game 1, it was this Monkey King facing off against this Void Spirit. And I know some people were favoring Virtus Pro's draft because they got everything they comfortably want as a CIS team. You know, the Pango, they had a Grim Strokes, they weren't worried about the counter pick. They had the Weaver as well. But I just looked at it as when you compare it to Liquid always having this like and push, and then you got this Void Spirit who can move around making plays more freely than Monkey King can. Monkey King very much struggles to match the pace that a Void Spirit can make across the map. And that's what will happen, right? Like Void Spirit gets roughed up a little bit in lane, but if you don't shut him out, which is very hard to do, if he gets XP at least, he can go find his gold in the outer lanes and win 2 while surrendering 1. And that's the kind of motion that we saw. Team Liquid took a 5-minute victory, and in the second game, they whip out the Lone Druid, the Dragonite, just full-on divide push. And Virtus Pro, they went for the Spectre again. This kind of 4 Protect 1, which, you know, there is opportunities for Rezo and no one to shine, but ultimately, like, you're bagging all your money on LTW to deliver. And I think, like, it feels as if a better way to actually function their drafts is where no one and Rezo are, like, the big stat carries. And LTW functions more as, like, a playmaking type hero, something like an Ember Spirit. Because that was another loss for them. That means Virtus Pro, the champions of ESL 1 LA Online EU CIS, is gone. They will not make it any further. They do not even make it to the lower bracket farm, because instead, you're going to have Team Liquid there matching up against the loser from the Virtus Pro Prodigy Team Secret Series, which ended up being the side of Virtus Pro Prodigy. I don't want to say that they weren't in with a chance here, though. They really did look pretty sweet at times, I want to say. In the first game, Team Secret, though, weren't really punished extremely for the mistakes they were making. Partially because it was a free Tinker game. By the way, we got a Tinker game. But because of the nature of the game and the way the drafts function, there's no real way that Virtus Pro Prodigy can hunt this Tinker. So every time you kill him, it almost feels pointless because you're not building towards something that shuts him down. He's still going to get his items. He's still going to be a problem. And there was also a bit of a whoopsie-daisy around a Rapier where I believe what happened was, I feel so bad for him, Epileptic Kid had his Sacred Relic locked because he didn't want to buy the Rapier in straight away in case something went wrong. And instead of unlocking it, he sold the Sacred Relic, which slowed him down a lot. And, you know, people are going to say, it didn't mean for nothing. It possibly could have. They were definitely down that was a hoorah play, but the hoorah play goes in a ooh-ah play and then a whoopsie-daisy very quickly when that sequence of events occurs. And in the end, there was just no stopping this frontliner troll plus this Tinker. I did love what I've seen out from Save in that first game, though. I think, honestly, he played a formidable game of Rubik, and that was definitely a big chunk of what kept Virtus Pro Prodigy in that for so long. But the second game, it wasn't going to be anything like the first. Team Secret get this rapid, hard pressing, straight out of the lanes type draft, and they got this co-op, they've got Lycan pressuring, they've got strong supports that can find pickoffs. Virtus Pro Prodigy went for a Morphling. Oh, I hate it. Every time I say you go for a Morphling, it's like you just need too much time. I think like there's maybe teams out there that can utilize it, but maybe there needs to be a different build for this hero, because right now, like, you know, you get Wraith fans, you get your Morbid Mask, and you're like, oh great, people have left me alone because they can't press me out of lane. I'm just gonna wave my arm as I farm. And the problem is, somewhere else on the map, you've got 4 teammates dying, you've got towers crumbling, and you're losing map control. By the time you got your one big item, guess what? 3 cores on the enemy team have the one big item, and your cores have nothing to show for it. It's a very finicky hero to make work. I'm not saying it's impossible to make Morphling work at all, but I think it's like it requires very specific drafts, and quite often when we see it, it feels like there's a better hero that could slot into the lineup. That's definitely how it felt here, as Virtus Pro Prodigy hopefully learn from that as they get 2-0 down by Team Secret. And now, lower bracket finals, which I will be on tomorrow, as well as the Division 2 grand finals. I'm not going to be on the grand finals itself. That honor was not not presented upon me this time. But I do get the honor of seeing VP Prodigy face Team Liquid, which I think is going to be a hype series. Both of these teams got 2-0'd by Team Secret. Now, you could argue that makes them evenly matched, but it's hard to say until we see them go up against each other. I think they've both been on fire in this tournament. VP Prodigy just completely astonishing anyone's expectations here at the WePlay Pushka League. And Team Liquid, after basically being written off in the first 2 days after the performance coming out of the ESL 1 compared to the start of Pushka. I don't think anyone really expected us to say that Liquid were going to be in the top 3, but they are here. They're looking hot, and I'm going to have to stick to them. I think VP Prodigy look amazing right now, but I do think this is where we're going to finally get another 2-1 to make it actually 2 3-game series here in the playoffs, and I think that will go the way of Liquid. I think VP Prodigy will probably take game 2, and then Liquid will bounce back in the third one, which will lead you into the grand finals, which is going to be, of course, a best of 5. And I am going to say that even if I wanted to switch to the Secret, I'm not a backpedaler like some people we know. I stick to what I asserted, which is probably not a good idea when you're displayed with new information. I'm going to say that Team Liquid are going to do it. I think we're going to get... I'd like... Maybe it's just I love to believe that we're going to get the full 5-game series, but I think we could get the full 5-game series. It's going to go one or two ways. I think it's going to go 3-2 in favor of Liquid, or I think that Liquid is going to take a game, either the second or third game, but then Secret's going to make it a 3-1 overall score. Those are the two outcomes I am like going to give. I think if the situation goes where it's 3-2, I think I'll see the Secret maybe take like game 1 and 2, and then like Liquid come back and no. I think Secret 1, Liquid bounce back in 2, and then I want to say Liquid take third. Give them 2 points, then Secret bounces back, then Liquid takes the final game. Okay, like that's my complicated prediction. That's what I'm going with, because you know what? It gives me more potential avenues of correctness. We already said the Secret situation if they win, but that's going to be my predictions. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you disagree or if you have any other opinions on what I've said here. I always love to hear from you guys, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, where I will get the honor of doing the lower bracket final, hosting the lower bracket final for my first event hosting, which is hog as hell. And then I also get to do a little bit of a mini grand final, but it is a grand final nonetheless, in the Division 2 action before the grand final for Division 1 will kick off later in that day. I'll hopefully see you then, and I hope you like what you see, because I'm going to be looking for some top tier dub, baby. This is EUCIS Prime.